Now I'm going to show you the simple installation and configuration of Mirth Connect. First, I'm going to download and install Mirth Connect. Then I'm going to change the Mirth Connect backend database. This is an optional step. By default, Mirth bundles Derby as its embedded backend database. This is fine for development and testing, but once you go into production and store millions of messages, we recommend using a more stable database like PostgreSQL. It's an open source and free database. Next, I'm going to launch the Mirth Connect administrator. And finally, I'm going to create a sample channel and process a sample HL7 message. And I'm going to do all of this in just a few minutes. First, you'll need to download the correct version of Mirth Connect. I'm running this screencast on Windows, so I'm going to pick one of the Windows installers. I could also download the zip if I just wanted to extract it and run it from the zip, but in this case I'll download the 64-bit installer. Once Mirth Connect has finished downloading, I'll need to install it. I'll double-click the Mirth Connect installer that I downloaded. It'll prompt me to run it with the publisher of Mirth Corporation. I'll go ahead and run it. I'll approve it to make changes to my computer. And now I'm in the Mirth Connect installer. I'll hit Next. I'll accept the license. It's an open source license of MPL 1.1. I'll use the default program directory to install to. I'll let it install the server manager and the Mirth Connect CLI along with the server. I'll let it create shortcuts and start menu items. Here I could change my ports if I needed to, but these ports aren't in use for me, so I'll go ahead and accept them. I'll leave my password security requirements as the defaults. I can configure my directories to change them from the defaults if I wanted to. In this case, I'll let the application data and the logs write out to the default directories. I'll choose to install the Mirth Connect service so that Mirth Connect starts and stops with Windows. And now Mirth Connect will be installed. Once Mirth Connect finishes installing, I'll choose to run the Mirth Connect Server Manager, and I'll view the README as well. I'll run the Mirth Connect Server Manager. See that the README has opened. Here is the README. There's some information about Mirth Connect, information on starting it for the first time as well, and what it includes in the installation. I'll see down here that the Mirth Connect Server Manager has started up in the system tray. If I right-click it, I'm given options to start and stop it, restart it, launch the administrator, and so on. Could also just double-click it, and here I have more configuration options. These are all the ports that I could have configured. If I wanted to change them, I could change them now as well. And I can also change the database that Mirth Connect is running on. In this case, it's already started up on Derby, but I'd like to change it to run on Postgres since that's a more stable database. Derby is fine for testing and development, but once we have a large message flow, we'll want to change it to something more stable that can hold millions and millions of messages. So I'll change it to use Postgres. I'll need to create a database for it, and I'll give it a username and password. I'll open up Postgres and I'll need to create a database for it. In this case, it was called MirthDB already, so I'll just create one called MirthDB. Go ahead and hit OK. Now Postgres has created a database called MirthDB, and I can apply these changes. Once I've applied them, I'll need to restart the Mirth Connect server. Once the Mirth Connect server successfully restarts, I should see a bubble saying the Mirth Connect service was restarted successfully. Now I'm given the choice of how to start the Mirth Connect administrator. In this case, I could start it by clicking the administrator button, and that would launch it directly from the Mirth Connect server manager. However, if I'm not on the same machine as the server manager, I won't be able to click that button. So let me show you a different way to start the Mirth Connect administrator. If I go back to my web browser, I can change the address to point to localhost 8080. And now I see a page that shows the Mirth Connect administrator version 2.2.1, and I have the option to launch it from here. I'll go ahead and click Launch, and I'll let the Mirth Connect administrator download. You should note that you could be on any computer that has access to the Mirth Connect server, and you could launch the administrator. This allows you to automatically download the correct version of the administrator from any computer that you can connect to the Mirth Connect server from. I'll type in the default Mirth Connect login information, which is admin as a username and admin as a password. And I'll let Mirth Connect log in. Once I've logged in, since it's my first time connecting, I'll be prompted for registration information with a few options here. I'll type in a new password and I'll register Mirth Connect. I'll go ahead and click Finish, and now I'm running in Mirth Connect. I'd just like to test it out really quick. In the next demonstration, I'll get into more detail on what a channel is and what each of these views are in the Mirth Connect administrator. But for now, I'll just go to Channels, and I'll create a new channel. Let's call it Test Channel. On the source, I'll just let it receive over LLP. And on the destination, I'll use a file writer. I'll write out to c:/test/out. I'll hard-code a file name. And I'm going to drag over the encoded data to write out. Go ahead and save this channel. I'll deploy it. And now I see I have a test channel deployed. Let's go ahead and send a message into this channel. I'll paste in a message that I want to send. As you can see, it's a simple message. It's an ORM message with some sample patient data. And I'll go ahead and hit process. I'll see that this channel has received one and sent one. If I go into the message browser for this, I can see the raw message that came in and what was sent out over the destination. And if I open up my browser, I'll see that in the out folder, a file was just created with that message data. Mirth Connect is now running. I have switched the database to use Postgres as a backend database. I've created a simple channel and I've processed an HL7 message through that channel.